This week on Outdoor Oklahoma, it's a young hunter's first taste of deer hunting with a muzzleloader. And by starting her off on the right foot, her dad helps to make sure she'll end up with an experience she'll not soon forget. Is it beginner's luck or the result of thorough preparation? Maybe a little of both. You be the judge. Right now on Outdoor Oklahoma. From the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. You know, a young person's first hunting experience is no doubt special. It sticks with them for the rest of their lives, and it helps to form the foundations of hopefully a lifelong passion for the outdoors. Today, we're going to introduce you to a special young lady, Taylor Gee, and her dad, Sean, who both make a commitment to making Taylor's introduction to hunting a special event.
She's a very busy girl. She plays softball. She's on the archery team. She's an honor student. And to find something that me and her can connect with and spend time with, and it's very special.
Hey man, what are you doing?
Well, I'm getting my muzzleloaders ready for deer season.
Can I come?
You really want to go deer hunting? Yeah.
So I went up and I asked my dad if I could go, and he seemed like he was into it and wanted me to go, but he wanted me to learn from somebody else, not himself, so I pay more attention to him.
You know, if you really want to know more about it, I need to go up to the pro shop and get some supplies. Plus, Mom wants me to mow the grass, so if we can sneak out of here, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right.
Can we grab this one?
Grab that one. Let's go. I want to do it the right way. I'll take her to a pro shop and see the different muzzleloaders and the different tools that you have to have for primitive hunting.
And he told me that I needed to go and talk to someone who could answer all my questions at the pro shop.
I'm kind of excited about going in here, aren't you?
Yep.
Hi guys, welcome to Pat's Archery.
Hi, my name's Sean. This is my daughter, Taylor.
Hi, nice to
She's
meet you.
interested in muzzleloader in this deer season, and we thought we'd come in and get more information.
Fantastic. So you shot a rifle before?
Yes, I just haven't shot a muzzleloader.
Ah, okay. Well, there's quite a few different types, but the main kind that most people shoot now is the inline, but I can show you the old style too. I happen to have an older style cap lock right here. The new style is called an inline. This is called a cap lock. And the reason why is because the way it's capped and shot, and the inline is just a little different mechanism. But the old cap locks used a number 11 primer that fit on here, and they've got a new, more reliable method right now, and that's with an inline. This is an inline muzzleloader, and with the inline, you use a different style of primer, the 209 primer. When you load a muzzleloader, you put the powder and the bullets in, and the primer is what ignites it. And this style of primer, because it's in line with the powder, is going to be a lot more reliable than putting a cap on here like this, and it's not sealed at all. This is considered a sealed breech. So like if you imagine if it was out in the rain, this is going to get wet and it's not going to go off. You've probably had that style before.
You're talking about primer, bullets, and powder. How is that different from a rifle?
Well, with a rifle, the bullet's all together. Okay, and with a muzzleloader, all these have different components. The primer is what ignites the powder, so you have to have different types of powder. The newer powders are much easier to load. This is just a regular substitute powder, and with this, you carry it in a flask and measure it out just like you used to, and you can put it in as many grains as you want. But the easiest way to go is with the pre-measured pellets.
Really?
Yeah, see these are 50 grains a piece, and they're already pre-measured out, so you can drop 2 in there for 100 grains. If you want 150, so no measuring, just simple, put it in. And
A lot easier out in the field to handle too.
And then with the bullets, you've got a couple of different kinds of bullets. You probably used just some old lead ball. Yeah. And these are so much more accurate than our old lead balls were. And you have 2 different kinds here. This is a bullet that fits in a sabot. And it just fits in like this, and you push it in the barrel, and very accurate.
It's kind of like a wad of a shotgun shell.
Exactly. The wad is what seals off the pressures and keeps the gas from escaping and pushes the bullet out. Then you also have a power belt bullet. A power belt bullet is just another type that both have good accuracy. Some may like one, some may like the other.
What about the accuracy for this?
Well, as long as you shoot it and practice with it, you can be extremely accurate, especially if you use a scope. That's what we recommend. You put a scope on it, and if you're shooting 100 yards, you really need a scope. It takes a lot of practice to shoot iron sights. So all these guns today are tapped for a scope, and you put it on there and practice out to 150 yards or so, 100 yards to 150, depends on where you're going to go, and you become very, very accurate.
Now I know with my old muzzleloader, cleaning it got to be a pretty good chore.
Yeah, kind of a mess.
Yes.
Yeah, they still have to be cleaned. Where a rifle has to be cleaned, one time too. But what you want to do with a muzzleloader is clean it in the field between shots, and so you don't need to carry a whole bunch of stuff with you. Just some patches and some cleaner. And each time you shoot it, you'll want to swab it down with some cleaner and then a dry patch. You'll be a lot more accurate because you'll get the fouling out of there each time you shoot it, and you'll be a lot more accurate on the next shot. And that's all you really need to do in the field. And then when you get home, then you have to be a little more thorough and clean it a little better and take the gun apart, and then just make sure you lubricate it up good and use boar butter and different things that they have nowadays.
You said it's one shot. That makes me kind of nervous.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the beauty of it, though. That's why it's so much fun. You're thinking, well, I got to have everything right. So when you're out there practicing, you're making sure your accuracy is good. You're making sure that you put the pellets in the same way every time, and then you got one shot. So it's kind of like a bow in a way.
Like a bow,
And so it's just one shot, and the challenge of that, knowing that you got that one shot to make, it's going to make it a lot more fun.
Okay.
So,
Well, we appreciate all the information.
bet.
I think we learned a lot today.
fantastic. Well,
Thank
good
you.
luck hunting this
All
season.
right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
If you have any questions, come back and see us, and we
sure
can
will.
help you out.
All right,
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
It's one thing to get good advice, but an essential part of preparation is taking the time to practice out what you've learned. So Taylor and her dad are headed to the gun range.
One of the main things, no matter what, using whatever type of gun, you always act like it's loaded. No matter, even if you know it's unloaded, you treat it as it's loaded. So first thing you want to do, we read the regulations at home, and the muzzleloader recommends that for the bullet that we're using, to use 100 grains. Each one of these pellets are 50 grains. All right, so we're going to use, and it's real easy with this type of grain. You just drop it right down in there. The pellets go all the way to the bottom. Okay, this bullet will go in next. Put it in here. I got a little ball starter or bullet starter. You just get it started down in there. Okay, and this is your ramrod. Okay, when your ramrod, we're going to use this end and shove it down there. Okay, we're going to push it all the way down, and we're going to make sure there's no air pockets or no gaps between the powder or the bullets from the breech of the gun. So we want to firmly seat it down in there. Now that it's loaded, what we want to do with this new gun, we're going to mark that ramrod. But it tells us that mark right there tells us when it's loaded. Okay, if it wasn't loaded and we dropped down there, the ramrod would fall all the way down into the barrel. All right, so it's firmly seated down in there. Okay, the target's downrange, so I need you to set, we're going to put the gun right here. You're going to set down your chair. Okay, we don't have a primer in it right now. I just want you to get the feel for it. All right, I want you to put it to your shoulder. I want you to make sure you can find the target in the scope. Don't put your finger on the trigger until we're ready to shoot. Okay, squeeze that, open it. Goes right in there. Okay, and then we're going to shut it. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pull the hammer back. Okay, put the crosshairs in the middle of the target. When you put your finger on it, just slowly squeeze. All right, not bad. You hit the target, looks like you're just a little low, but that was a great shot. Okay. It's very important for her to be as comfortable with the gun and as good a shot as she could be with that gun. So when she goes out hunting, she's comfortable with it, she's confident with her shooting, And when you're confident, usually you're a little more safe and know what you're doing.
Taylor and her dad are finally headed to the woods on her first hunt. But first, this week's Outdoor News Report. Taylor and her dad have done everything right up to this point. They've got good advice, they've practiced out on the range, and well, now it's the moment of truth. Will it all come together? Let's find out.
We're pretty fortunate as we're walking down this trail. We walked up on a scrape, and Taylor didn't have a clue what a scrape was. Hey Taylor, look at this trail. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you can see it.
Look, that's what we want right there. See this?
What is it?
It's called a scrape. And the bucks will come through here and make these right before the rut and during the rut. And this is called licking branch. And it leaves their scent. So when the does go in heat, they'll come through here, leave their scent, and the bucks will come through here every so often and check them and update them. And what's better, it's only 50 yards from our tree stand. It's a good day, good situation. So the intensity got pretty high right from the first when I started talking about a buck comes through here and checks this. So she goes, hey, she was excited about maybe getting to see a buck.
Within the first 5 minutes we were up in the stand, we had deer come by. My dad told me there might be some other that follow it, so we need just to watch and wait.
Deer coming in here. Got a doe, looks like a couple of fawns. They don't know we're here, they're just feeding over there. Let them all mill around and we'll see what happens. Look, that button buck's coming right up underneath us feeding. You can see his little horns, little nubs, can't you?
Yeah. It's amazing how he doesn't know we're up here.
I know, he's so close. The wind's kind of helping us too. That's awesome.
After that, they just kept piling in as as some left, they came in, more came in. So it was right to wait and be patient.
With that being her first hunt, she had a lot of excitement from the very first as she's seeing deer. We had deer right by our tree stand feeding and bedding within 20 yards, 30 yards of our tree stand, and watching them kept everything pretty exciting.
They had no clue that we were up above them or that we were anywhere close. And so it was kind of cool just to see them go around and just be kind of relaxed. And when they're relaxed, then more deer will come in. And so it was I was really happy that they didn't know we were here, or they were just able to just chill.
Taylor, here comes a doe, big doe. Sit still.
I was watching her, and as she came right around from the right side, I was ready to shoot her right then, and Dad was like, no, we need to wait for her to come around and get into a shooting position.
And we had to wait, and I had to grunt at it a couple of times trying to get it to turn broadside, and it didn't give us the shot right away. Remember, stay calm, but don't hold your breath, just like shooting that bow. You could tell she was a little nervous and had to kind of talk her through, being breathe, don't hold your breath, and calm down. It's just like shooting a bow, just ease into it.
Okay, I'm on her.
Okay, just make sure those other does aren't around there. It finally all of a sudden took a sharp right and gave us just a pretty broadside shot.
When I realized that I finally harvested the deer, I was excited, and it was just, I couldn't help from jumping up and down. But while we were there were still other deer around, so we still kind of had to be quiet. But you could tell we were nervous and excited. I was still shaking. My dad was shaking. I bet he was just as happy as I was when we had got the deer, and it was just fulfilling for all the hard work that we had put into it.
Her doe was down on the ground, and we were just kind of buying our time for the deer to kind of feed away. And we looked to our left, and I think we both saw him at the same time. A nice little buck come walking in. This time I don't think I had to say anything to her. She stayed real calm, took her time, had to wait for the buck to kind of move, or a few deer move away from the buck before we could get a good shot at it. Right now what we're doing is Taylor just shot a nice buck. I don't know if it's an 8 or a 10 point, pretty good size. She had shot a doe just a little earlier, and while we were waiting for the other does to clear out to go check on her doe, this buck walked in, made a pretty good shot, maybe back a little bit, but we saw it ran off in the trees, and we can see him right now. He laid down, so rather than push him and maybe run him off, I think we may just kind of take our time and sneak out of here at dark and come back. But Dad's excited, Taylor's excited. Our tree stand's shaking right now because we're excited. If we would have got down, we would have spooked all those deer and possibility spooking him. So our other option was just wait till dark, get down at dark, back out of there, go back, grab something to eat.
So I realized that it was going to be a late night, but a good night.
Right where she dropped. Man, look at that. She's a big doe. That's awesome, Taylor.
And the first one.
Nice shot. All right. Hey, there you go. Yeah. And that's not even the only deer, is it? You also shot your first buck tonight, too.
I want to go get that buck.
All right. Well, we know where she's at. We're going to go track him, and then we'll come back. Here's a speck right here.
Yeah.
Right.
More blood.
Looky there.
There he is.
Holy smoke. Hold on. Don't just run up on him. He's dead. There's your first buck. What do you think?
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Dad, I'm so excited that on the first day I got to go hunting, I got 2 deer. Not only just a doe, but a good-sized buck, all in the same night. It's just time I'll never forget.
Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more proud. Just thinking back from that day you came out when I was cleaning my muzzleloader saying you wanted to hunt this year, it got me excited. We went to the pro shop, went to the shooting range, spent a lot of time together practicing, and then with the scouting, look at the results. Man, it's awesome. I'm proud of you. You can go hunting with me anytime. Just going in the woods, we had high hopes of shooting a doe. The buck was just a bonus, but more than anything, we're in the woods enjoying nature and spend time together.
There's no other feeling like getting that deer and knowing that all that hard work had paid off, and it's just a fulfilling moment and something you'll never forget.
In the end, well, Taylor ends up pulling off something that few seasoned hunters ever do, a double, and on her first hunt. Don't you know her dad is proud, and not just because of the 2 deer, but because of her willingness to make the effort ahead of time to ask questions and learn and, of course, practice. And we'd like to challenge you this year to make that investment in someone new and teach them the hunting ropes. Who knows, they might get a double on their first hunt as well. For all of us at your Wildlife Department, I'm Todd Craighead. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.